Hello, I know it has been a hot minute since I've made a video, actually pretty much almost a month since I've made a video, but we're back, and what a way to start it off with the new album by Poppy titled Empty Hands. Coming off of her massive success that was Negative Spaces, I think an album that kind of revived her relevancy, as I feel like when she released Zig, people were just kind of like, okay, this is an album, but you're just kind of killing the momentum here. She has come back probably even stronger than what Negative Spaces itself was, where she finally delved fully into the metalcore and the metal that we had been fully waiting for her to kind of delve into. And Empty Hands does kind of play off that, but it also kind of mixes elements from her previous eras all together. I mean, when you get to the kickoff Public Domain, it has this like opening beat that's almost reminiscent of something off of I Disagree, and it is an absolute banger. There wasn't any songs that I thought were bad, but two of them I thought were alright were The Weight and Ribs. I feel like when it comes to the album and the way it was structured, these two songs are just kind of the oddballs. Not saying they're bad or anything, but they're just kind of, two songs that when I was listening to them, it wasn't as, how do I put this? It wasn't as exciting as the others were, but the rest of my album falls under the category of just being my absolute favorite. I mentioned the kickoff Public Domain, Bruised Sky just punches you right in the face, Guardian and Unravel were the other two singles, and although they have their heavy moments, they kind of, delve more into the, you can kind of say, melodic metalcore type of thing, where the clean vocals are more present, but she does a good job. And with each release, I feel like Poppy's voice just keeps getting better, not necessarily just from the screaming aspect, but from the singing aspect in itself. It's almost like she's truly finding her voice. Dying to Forget was also just another one that was, one that punches you right in the face right after Unravel. Time Will Tell is absolutely breathtaking. Eat the Hate is a short 2-minute song that does its thing. We're Following the Light, and then the title track, which I will let you guys know now, is crazy. It's all over the place. For an album finisher, I was expecting something a little softer, as Poppy usually does on her albums, outside of maybe, say, Am I a Girl, where she did hit us with X, which was a little bit more heavier than what she was doing at the time. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, she finally does do the, metal breeze that everybody is so excited to hear as the breakdown hits, and she just lets it all out. And channels her inner Knocked Loose, which of course she collabed with Knocked Loose not that long ago, so it almost kind of makes sense. It's like when people say Bruised Sky kind of sounds like, a Spirit Box song. I can see it because her vocals are very reminiscent of Courtney on that one, especially during the non-clean vocal parts. But yeah, I really think following Negative Spaces, my expectations for her were definitely high, and I was wondering whether she was going to meet those expectations or it was going to be another letdown, because to me, it seemed like every time she would gain momentum, she would then release an album that would kind of, tail off from the other one, and it would kind of kill the momentum a little bit. And I'm not saying albums like Zig and Flux weren't good. I'm just saying that the expectations for those records were a little bit higher, considering the stuff she had been teasing and the other stuff she had released before those. Those were kind of underwhelming in a way, but with Empty Hands, this might just be better than Negative Spaces, and Negative Spaces was a great album. For those that don't remember, in 2024, it was my second best album of the year, and I didn't think there could be really any going up, or at least I thought there was going to be some sort of, fall off just a little bit. But with Empty Hands, I feel like this is truly what Poppy needs to do from here on out, still having us question what her kind of, song structure is going to sound like, while also staying true to the rock and metal that she's been so heavy, because at this point, she's just a rock and metal artist. Everybody's accepted her, and it seems like the days of pop star Poppy are long gone, and in are the new eras of the rock and metal Poppy altogether. And yes, I know there's 2 songs missing on here. Those are interludes, so we're not necessarily going to talk about them because they just kind of, go into the songs that they're supposed to go into, and they do it very well. Nonetheless, Poppy's Empty Hands gets a 9 out of 10 for me. It is an absolutely excellent record and a great way to kind of kick off the new year when it comes to album reviews for my channel, because sometimes these early albums can get forgotten, but I can tell you with this one, this is going to be on replay all year, and I'm just so happy that this album was what I was hoping for it to be. And even it being a step up from Negative Spaces, which is very hard to do, is also a pretty breathtaking thing, knowing that she can come back and just punch in the face even harder than before with this album. So yeah, that is it for me. Those are my thoughts on the record. Would really like to hear in the comments below what your thoughts on this new Poppy album are. And until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.